Good, happy Wednesday morning, January 9, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, let's begin with your weather this morning with meteorologist Mike Haddad. Another winter system moves into New Hampshire. Let's find out what we'll be seeing from this winter system.
Thank you very much for joining us, Stormwatch 9 Weather on the Web. Moving through this weekend, it certainly has been an unsettled start with another system building in overnight into Wednesday. This one, during the evening, will produce a light band on and off of rain and freezing rain central and southern New Hampshire and wet snow with a mix to the north. However, early tomorrow morning, we've got another bout of wintry weather that will carry rain, quickly changing over to wet snow across the state. Once that happens, winds crank up out of the northwest, driving in cold air for Thursday and an Arctic chill, the coldest air so far this season, for Thursday night to a good part of the weekend. So system number 2 kind of split in two, with the first wave of precipitation accompanied by enough warm air, especially aloft, so it's rain. But keep in mind, untreated surfaces may be slick as that rain freezes on contact, with temperatures right near 32 degrees. To the north, a little bit of wet snow and sleet and rain mixed. Then early tomorrow morning, that's when this system builds on in with a steady rain, quickly changing over to wet snow before ending, and that's where we could see wet roadways turn over to slush and snow covered as we go through the early part of the morning commute. Notice, quite a scenario here with heavy wet snow. Merrimack Valley points west and especially into Vermont. But to the south and east, you'll notice how it's rain. Before it changes over to a lot of wet snow, that band lifts to our north. So that's why snow tallies will be low right near the coast. But you travel to the north and west, snow-covered roads expected for the morning commute, and some of that snow could accumulate quite a bit by the time we get into late morning and afternoon on Wednesday in northern parts of the state. Winds crank up out of the northwest. More snow to be had on Thursday. Could be a passing snow shower south and breaks of sun, but on average, more in the way of dry weather south on Thursday with the flurries and snow showers to the north. Again, very tricky early on Wednesday, a coating to an inch of snow after rain, south and east of Concord, 1 to 3 inches of snow, anywhere from Keene towards Concord up to the Southern Lakes region, point south, and then to the north and west of that, Lake Sunapee zone, Upper Valley, Northern Lakes region, points north, 3 to 6 inches of snow, with some tallies much higher in the highest of elevations. Some of the summits of the White Mountains could get anywhere from 8 to as much as 12 plus inches of snow just over the next 24 hours. As for temperatures overnight tonight, they're going to hold right around freezing, so keep in mind any untreated road could be a little bit slick, and then it only gets colder from here for the end of the week and over the weekend. So on and off rain changing to snow tomorrow morning. Snow continues up north, a passing snow shower south turning windy for your Wednesday. For Thursday, windy with most of the snow to the north, windy and colder on Friday, still a bit breezy, but lighter winds and very cold for Saturday. And on Sunday, that very cold air should keep the next storm off to our south.
Okay, and there you go on that weather forecast from meteorologist Mike Haddad. And your current weather right now is overcast, 33 degrees, and we have 18 closings and delays to pass along. If you want to see that complete list, just go to WMUR.com. And now let's take a look at your traffic and see how your morning traffic is shaping up this morning. And here's a look at your morning traffic this morning. We're seeing a lot of green roadways and a few yellow spots and a few red spots. Big yellow and red area all over here near the Manchester area, and then making its way down into Nashua as well, all yellow, a few little green spots. Then yellow going into towards Milford and to Peterborough as well, and up into the Hopkinton and Concord area as well, and some near the Epping and Seacoast area as well. Otherwise, your traffic is moving pretty okay right now. No major issues or delays to report this morning, or accidents, but we will keep you updated if we get any information on that. And now let's go to your news. First up, Manchester Mayor unveils plan to address homeless panhandling. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Jean Mackin.
The new strategy starts with $200,000 for major changes at the Families in Transition New Horizons shelter to keep the doors open during the day, launch an outreach program and renovations, including areas for substance abuse recovery.
We've talked to some homeless people and they don't feel comfortable going right now, so we need to make adjustments to the building so people do feel comfortable and safe when they're there.
The mayor is also asking for $9,000 to cover the cost of 2 portable toilets in Veterans Park with cleaning services for a 6-month pilot program. And she wants to launch a new citywide campaign discouraging people from giving to panhandlers, choosing charities instead. At City Hall,
the more we can take the homeless off the streets of the city, the better it is for your business.
Business owners complained the problem discourages customers. Some citizens say they don't feel safe, and several groups say it will take a community with compassion to curb the problem.
If they don't want to work 1 day or 2 days a week, don't give them anything. Don't give them any money.
Time for us to get this done.
We need to take the streets back so that our citizens can walk freely.
Some of these initiatives will now be covered for the first half of this year. The mayor says the cost of addressing the homeless problem will carry on into the next city budget. In Manchester, Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Man known as Jack the Sniffer charged with indecent exposure. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Kristen Carosa.
On Sunday, a young girl shopping with her mother at the Family Dollar in Manchester says a man she didn't know exposed himself in front of her. According to police, her mother didn't see the alleged incident, but her daughter explained what happened.
She waited until her mother and her were outside getting ready to leave. Once she told the mother, they went back inside the store, notified the manager, who in turn called us. We responded, and fortunately, Officer Firamonte was able to get some still photos from the surveillance video.
And it was those photos that led officers to identify the man as Jeffrey Gelinas.
And they arrested Gelinas right around 1 p.m. outside of his Union Street home.
Police say Gelinas is a man with a long criminal history. He was arrested last year for prowling near homes in Durham. Gelinas was also the prime suspect in a series of crimes in that town 14 years ago. And he has been previously convicted of exposing himself in a public place. Attorney Tom Velarde, who has prosecuted Gelinas in the past, is now reacting to his most recent arrest.
I recognize that Mr. Jelinek is innocent until proven guilty. However, based on his prior history of sexual offense convictions, I would certainly hope that both the Manchester Police and the Hillsborough County Attorney's Office would look strongly at using the maximum law allowable for this type of behavior.
Jelinek remains in custody for this most recent arrest, and he will face a judge in Manchester tomorrow. Live in Manchester, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Man armed with sledgehammer tries to rob Manchester store, police say. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Andy Hirschberger.
Manchester police say the suspect in this recent robbery held a small sledgehammer over his head and demanded cash. That was Tuesday morning here at the Shop and Go Market on Massabesic Street, the second time it's been hit in the last few days. Emily Vasquez says she shops there all the time.
I was thinking the worst, but when I went inside, I asked him if he's all right. He said, yeah, he was okay.
He fled, never got any cash. The major issue is this is our third armed robbery in the past 24 hours. We had one at 12:30 yesterday and another one last night.
Manchester police say the previous two robberies involved a knife. This morning, it was a hammer. Authorities say there have been about 6 similar robberies in the last 10 days, but they don't know if any of them are related.
It's hard to tell if they're connected or not, Andy, only because the way that the assailant's going in with his face covered, you know, the lighting, the cameras, the still photos, it's tough to tell.
Police say in this morning's robbery, the suspect was wearing a distinctive jacket with pockets in the front and what looked like black patches on the shoulders. And now authorities are reaching out to city store owners to educate them on how to cut down on these types of crimes.
Right now we're looking to set up, I guess it would be a robbery seminar for store owners so they can have pointers to look at and tips before, during, or after a robbery, what the police are looking for, what we want them to look for.
Manchester police are hoping that someone will recognize either a piece of clothing or maybe even a change in someone's behavior that seems suspicious and give them a call. Reporting live, I'm Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Teacher from New Hampshire accused of inappropriate relationship with minor student. Let's take a listen to the video.
Tonight, a New Hampshire woman is accused of sexually exploiting a student in Vermont. Vermont State Police say 44-year-old Anitra Lahiri of Bethlehem was a teacher at the Linden Institute in Lyndonville, Vermont. Investigators say she had an inappropriate relationship with that student at the end of the last school year.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire canine gets new bulletproof vest in memory of fallen police officer in Massachusetts. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Seabrook Police K9 is safer tonight thanks to a donation honoring a slain officer. K9 Henry got this protective vest from a nonprofit that supports law enforcement dogs. It was donated in honor of Yarmouth, Massachusetts Police Sergeant Sean Gannon, who was shot and killed last year. Gannon's K9 partner was also shot but survived. K9 Henry just finished his first year of service with Seabrook Police.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. $100 billion beyond the iPhone. Apple CEO Tim Cook talks giant move past hardware. Apple CEO Tim Cook and CNBC Jim Cramer discussed business in China on Wall Street despite Oklahoma and what's next for the consumer tech giant. In Apple's last fiscal year, the company granted $100 billion in revenue not tied to the iPhone, Cook says. That contribute with new ventures into the healthcare space paints a picture of Apple's future. And that does it for this report. In primetime address, Trump argues nation security crisis at southern border. President Donald Trump used his first Oval Office address to the nation to urge Congress to address what he called a growing humanitarian and security crisis at the southern border by approving funds for a border wall to address drug trafficking and illegal immigration, giving no indication that he plans to abandon his efforts aimed the 18-day government shutdown. And then Democratic leaders accused the president of manufacturing a crisis to build the wall, fulfilling his signature campaign promise. He called on him to accept legislation to reopen federal departments and dozens of agencies while continuing border security talks with Congress. And we want to hear from all of you. Did you watch last night's address? Comment below and let us know. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.